Sorry, I had a yawn. I'm tired.
What is up, everyone? I am Jamie with Three Little Goats Homestead, and you know this amazing guy right here, Jesse, my husband, and today we're doing something a little different. So I recently reached out to a couple other homesteader channels and asked them if they could start everything all over again, what would they do different? And you'd be surprised at some of the answers that we got, because homesteading's not just one size fits all. It's not cookie cutter. Not what works for us may not work for you. And so it's always interesting to see what other homesteaders would have done differently if they had that option. So I'm going to play you guys their videos so you can see exactly what they would do if they could start over, and then we'll go over what we would possibly do different if we had to start all over again for a fourth time.
Yeah.
So let's roll the
Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Melissa.
And we are Tilted K Homestead.
We are on a parcel of 5 acres that we started our homestead on 3 years ago.
That's right. We started it from raw land.
Raw land, yes.
And Jamie from Three Little Goats approached us and asked us what would we have done differently now that we're 3 years into our homestead.
If we were able to start all over again.
Correct. And the obvious answer is everything. But there are a couple of very key things that I think stand out above everything else.
Yeah, one of the major things that we would have done first is actually build our house.
Correct. So when we got here, we were excited about becoming homesteaders and immediately set forth to getting gardens and starting livestock and getting the infrastructure around those things done first.
Because we really wanted to grow our own food and raise our own meat.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, what we should have done was take care of ourselves first and built our house first and then picked away at the other things, which is opposite of how we did it. We did all the other things and picked away at our house, and that is why we are coming up on our 3-year anniversary.
Yep.
And we're still building our house and still living in our 30-foot camper while we do that. So I definitely think we should have taken care of our comforts first and then worked on the homestead. But there's also another issue that we really should have addressed. And what is that?
I'm not sure if we're thinking about the same thing.
I'm thinking that we should have started our whole homestead adventure a long time ago. Guys, I'm going to be 60 years old in 5 months.
And I'm in my mid-50s.
And Missy's in her mid-50s. And like we said, we've only been here 3 years. Yes. We should have started this at the best our 40s. But in our 30s.
Yeah, so basically what we're saying is that if we had it to do all over again, our number 2 on our list would be have started earlier
in life.
Yes. Because although I enjoy the homesteading part of it, it is so much work, and everything takes twice as long to do, especially when you're doing it yourself.
Yes, and as you get older, things just become more difficult. Yeah. And it is, guys. At homesteading, you know, if you're a fan of watching homesteading on YouTube, it kind of looks easy. And we watched a lot of YouTube before we homestead to do research. And what we found out was when you're actually there doing it, it's a lot harder and a lot more physically demanding than I think we really anticipated that it was going to be. So we definitely would have started much earlier. If you have the opportunity and you have the passion, try and do it when you're younger. You'll be much happier with the results.
And it's not impossible. We are making it happen.
We are.
Yes, it's taking a little bit longer than we thought.
Yep.
But our house is being built.
Yep.
We're doing that ourselves with the help of friends who came and helped us get it dried in. Yes, living in a camper is not glamorous, but we make it work.
We make it work. And the homestead is doing very, very well. We've got almost all the animals that we were hoping to have. And
by this time, yes.
Yes, and things are coming together. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. Thank you very much, Jamie and Jesse from Three Little Goats. And come check out our channel. We'll see you later.
And welcome to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather, and we have a thing that we did early on in our homesteading journey that I wish we had done differently. When we moved here to this property, it was basically wide open land with a house and a barn on it, which we were really grateful for. But it didn't really have any kind of fencing, and I knew that I wanted animals, not necessarily as big as a cow, but I wanted something like a goat or 30. But first things first, we started out with chickens. When we decided we wanted to put in the chicken run, we bought welded wire fencing, which is what you see here. This is actually 2 inches by 4 inches, but you can see at each cross section, the bars are welded together. You'll see a lot of fences like this. This is really kind of the economical option. The thing that I wish we did was overbuild all the fences that we have, because you never know what's going to happen in the future and what you might want to house in that space. We still do have chickens and a guinea and a duck. They're hanging out in the shade right now. But a few times a year, I actually put a pair of goats in here. I use them as lawn mowers to eat down the grass that the chickens just can't manage. And I also use this area like a breeding pen for my goats. And truth is, you can contain goats in fencing like this, but they are very hard on fencing like this, and they will break it over time because goats like to stand on fences, and even little goats are heavy enough to pop the welds, especially if they've got a favorite spot to kind of stand on the fence to get attention. And so we have had to make some repairs here and there. I think this is actually where my husband knit together 2 sections of fencing. But yeah, overall, I wish in the beginning we had overbuilt all of our fences, just kind of assuming that in the future we may want to do more with that area. The kind of fencing that I have over here is more of what I wish we had around the chicken run. They do make this in the 2 inch by 4 inch sized holes. This is called field fencing the way that it is. It's smaller on the bottom, it's like more compressed, and then the squares get wider as we go up. Here come our boys. Hi boys. But you can see the major difference here with this type of fencing. This is called woven wire fencing, and it's wrapped around itself to better handle the pressure that certain animals can put on it. It's just a lot more flexible and a lot more forgiving, and I wish we had done this type of fencing all over the place. This area here I do have blocked off from the boys, so I'll show you the next thing that I wish we had done regarding fencing, and that is not put our fencing so super close to the ground. One of the reasons I did initially want to put my fencing as close to the ground as I could is I knew I was going to have goats in here, and they don't only sometimes climb fences, most of the time they'll weasel under fences if they're going to get out. But I put my fencing too close to the ground. I don't like to spray things like Roundup on my land, and so I don't manage my fence rows, and because of that, that bottom wire is really close to the ground. It's in the middle of the dewy grass, and it has rusted out on some of these fence lines. Can we not? I was just trying to show them the fence. I could probably let them in here, but not right now. It's even hard for me to find because of all the grass. But see this here? That is a piece of fencing that has split just because of constant contact with the wet ground. So obviously that's not ideal. And if the fencing was going to rot out on the bottom anyway, might as well have put it a little bit higher, 4-6 inches off the ground. This was way too close. Also, side note with regard to fencing, if you're going to keep goats and you're going to keep breeding animals, like 2 separate breeding bucks and 2 separate pens, you don't want them to share a fence line because they will fight through that fence line and not only hurt themselves, but they're going to hurt your fence. And so give yourself probably about 10 or 15 feet in between each breeding pen so that you can avoid any mishaps.
This video is hosted by Jamie at Three Little Goats Homestead. So the question was posed, if there's one thing we could change from scratch on homesteading, what would it be? And the boss and I were talking and we both said structures. We would have a separate coop, which now we're gonna make one, for the meat birds. And we would have a wood cover, you know, whatever that's called, a wood shack. But for sure, it would be structures for the birds. So we didn't have to have them in the garage every year, sometimes twice a year, it depends how it goes. And we would just be able to have them out in their own chicken tractor. Totally our answer. Thank you, Jamie.
Hi guys,
Hey,
this is Gladys and
Anson.
we're from Ivy's Family Factotum. And Miss Jamie reached out to us from,
It's the Three Little Goats Homestead
yep,
asking, and well, let me pull it up quick. It was, if you had to start your homestead all over again from scratch, what would you do differently?
Well, for me, I think we would have not bought the RV. That would have saved us some money.
Yeah, for us, we actually purchased an RV brand new, off the lot, never used.
During COVID times.
Right around that time, and it was very expensive.
Yeah, it still is, but you know, I think that would have saved us some money elsewhere, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely would not have gotten the RV from day one.
Yep.
And with that money that we would have saved from that, I would have, me personally, have tried to gotten our tractor
Yes.
a lot faster than what we did.
Definitely. A lot of
So-
things would have been happening.
Yeah, it took 3 years to get the tractor because of the finances we had with the RV.
Well, there
So-
you go.
If we had to do it all over again,
That'd be it.
don't get an RV.
All right. Have a good one.
Hi everyone,
Hi everyone, my name is Arisha,
and I'm Jeff.
and together we are Hanson Never Done Farms. We are coming to you from Central Oklahoma. Jamie out at Three Little Goats Homestead contacted us and is putting together this little collaboration, and we were invited to be a part of it and are so excited
Yeah, we are.
to be here. The theme of this collaboration is, if you were to start your farm over from scratch, what is the one thing that you would change?
Have good fencing,
we
for sure.
we know how to change or how to start over. Many of you who have followed us for several years know that 4.5 years ago we moved our farm from Oregon all the way to Central Oklahoma, halfway across the country, 2,000 miles, and we started over.
Yep.
So we don't have to think about what we would do different. We actually did it. And as Jeff said, the very first thing that we did when we landed here was fencing.
Yeah, very important.
Fencing not only makes good neighbors, but it makes safe animals. It gives you peace of mind, keeps the bad things out, and keeps the good things in. You certainly
That's for sure.
don't want your animals out running all over the place and causing chaos with your neighbors. But anyways, that was the very first thing that we focused on, was fencing. And of course, shelters came into play, and growing everything from there. But anyways,
thank you, Jamie, for putting this collaboration together.
Appreciate it.
I hope
Appreciate
that you all take the opportunity to get to know all of us, different content creators on a personal level. Come visit our channels. We are more than happy to have you give this video a like and subscribe to Jamie over at Three Little Goats Homestead. And from our farm to you, hope you have a wonderful weekend.
We'll see you later.
Thank you for watching.
Alright, so as you can see, a lot of people had some things in common. Fencing being a big one, starting where they're going to build their house is another big one. But for us, since we have literally started homesteading from scratch 3 different times, I think our biggest thing that we would do different is we would have started to build our community a little bit sooner. So if you guys know us in real life, you know, we tend to be a little bit introverted. We're very much we can get this done all on our own. We don't need help. And we just happened to have a neighbor that had moved in shortly after we did, and they were an extrovert. They adopted us and forced us to meet the rest of our neighbors. And I'm so glad that they did, because some of our neighbors are some of the best people that we know. If you're sick, you're going to need someone to come and help with your animals. It doesn't matter if it's a cold, if you're in the hospital. It's always nice to have somebody nearby that can just come in, swing in, feed your animals, and call it a day. And then there's projects that you just cannot do on your own. We're not exactly spring chickens anymore, so knowing that if we needed help in a pinch, we could call one of our neighbors over and they'd be over here in a heartbeat to help us. Another great thing is a lot of our neighbors, we have bartering systems in place. If we have extra milk, we can trade it for honey. And it also helps that one of our neighbors has really awesome mules, so Jesse gets to go and hang out and play with them on occasion. I haven't rode them yet.
Nope. I will.
I won't. He will. But having those neighbors just makes it so much easier, and it's kind of a stress off of our shoulders, knowing that if something was to happen, that we have the support right down the road that we have in order to step in and help fill somebody's shoes. So that's probably what I wish we would have done from the get-go, is just build that community up and had it in place. Anything else I'm forgetting or missing?
Not that I can think of. I'm on camera now.
So if you're homesteading, let us know if there's something, if you could do all over, if you had to do it again, what would you do differently? Let us know down in the comments. It's always interesting to hear what other people would do differently. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We put out videos every single week, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.